no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini Mayfield fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
Alright, so you're looking at the full Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave, including the complete Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure, who we will be looking at closely momentarily. I'm gonna run through this pretty quickly because I think I want to try to squeeze a little setup in this video. But yeah, left to right, Malekith is a great figure. It's a good figure. Not better than the SDCC version, but I think it's one that you should absolutely get, especially if you did not or you were not able to grab the SDCC version. Black Widow is great, especially if you didn't get any of the other versions, because you can take this vest off and pretty much have a classic MCU Black Widow. Maybe you can use one of the comic-based heads to swap on so you can have her classic red hair look. But Ant-Man and Wasp, I think they're gonna go up in popularity once the movie drops. Thanks to whoever the two people were in their review video that pointed out that on the left side of her costume the paint was incomplete on my figure, so I got a defective figure. But again, I think these are pretty cool, and if you're into the MCU figures, then you should absolutely grab these. And then Black Knight, somebody had mentioned that this might actually be a good one to army build and customize, so yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. It could go with a lot of different figures from different lines aside from Marvel Legends and aside from this actual figure, so that's cool. It was nice that they included the other interchangeable heads with Black Knight. And Thor is a solid figure. I think maybe one of my favorites out of the wave, and definitely decent likeness to the character from the movie. I've seen some say in the comments of his video that the head sculpt is not that great, but you know, you can use it for other purposes, and that's pretty much it. Let's get into Cull Obsidian. This is a pretty massive figure. And oftentimes people will complain about some of the waves from Marvel Legends where there's only 6 figures and it's not 7 or 8. And they'll complain and they'll complain. And I've said this quite a few times, but I don't normally complain too much about any of the waves that are Build-A-Figure waves, because essentially you're going to buy 6, 7, or 8 characters and you're going to get one for free. And when it's one that's really large, like this one, then I do think that you are getting your money's worth for purchasing 6, 7, 8, $20 figures, you know, for the most part. And then oftentimes you may get a discount. You may find a sale at Walgreens or Target or Walmart or something like that, and you'll be getting a figure for $8 or $9 or $15 or whatever it may be, and then you're going to get one figure for free still. So with all of that said, I am a little disappointed at the quality of paint applications on here, the lack of paint applications on this figure, and the fact that it's not really matching his movie design or his movie look. Even the early images of this character, it doesn't match that. It actually looks a little closer to the comic-based version of the character. If you don't know, the Black Order was adapted directly from the comic books, and their MCU appearances were just changed slightly. But again, it is such a massive figure that I can't really complain too much. So Cull Obsidian stands just under 9 inches tall. He actually might be 9 inches if I get his legs all the way in and get his knees straight. And taking a close look at the one accessory he's packed in with, this was his sort of hammer and chain weapon. I'm not sure what the exact name of it was in the movie, but as you can see here, it's not really any paint detailing on here at all. I do like all of these little ridges and the different textures and everything on here, but they did not even try to put any paint applications on here. And it doesn't match the movie design. It doesn't match his comic design of his weapon or really match the movie design. So I'm not sure what they were doing with this. And just looking at some of the details on the figure, or the lack thereof, you know, certain things like this I really hate about Marvel Legends sometimes. All they had to do was add a little bit of black paint to his fingernails and toenails, and that would have actually brought out some of the sculpt a bit more and made the figure look a little bit better. And I don't mind that they're showing a lot of his skin on this design, But, you know, they could have definitely done some more with all of these little scales and different parts. It's so much different, so many different textures and so much they could have done here. And the paint apps just look so bland, man. I really don't understand. And how the heck does he have armor here on these parts? How is the armor even staying on? But anyway, even on these parts where he has armor, all it needed was a little bit of weathering, just a little bit more attention to detail, and it would have been cool, man. I don't know what they were doing here, but I think I'm gonna slap some paint on them and do a little dry brushing and really bring this sculpt out. Taking a close look at this head sculpt, which looks cool. But you know, just a bit more paint application could have really brought this out. I do like the few different colors and textures that they do have on here. I think his head maybe could have been just a little bit bigger too, but the head is on a ball joint. You'll get him to look down a decent amount, which is important, especially for a big dude to be looking down at his opponents. I always say that. Not going to get him to look up too much, but with the added upper torso articulation, he can look up, which is pretty good. Turn left to right, do a full 360, get pivot, all of that good stuff. Shoulders on the ball joint, they're going to come up just that far because of how this sort of like armadillo, armored, spiky shoulder pad things are. You know, they're not going to go up too far. And also this doesn't really actually hinder the articulation, this armored part. It does attach at two places here, one on the chest and one on his back, and it does rotate, so it doesn't get in the way too much. But the arms can do a full 360. You get an upper bicep swivel. You get a single jointed elbow, a little less than 90 degrees, a swivel, and a hinge going up and down on this side, and a swivel and a hinge going traditionally back and forth on the left side. And you get upper torso articulation, and that'll rotate and move around quite a bit, left to right, forward and back, a bit more back than forward. But you also get waist articulation, which is cool. And under here, he's naked, but looks like a T-joint under there. Legs are going to come up just about that far. One sec. Yeah, the legs are not going to come up too far because of this whole skirt thingy, but he can actually get a decent split. You get an upper thigh swivel. You do get a double jointed knee. You get a hinge on the foot, and you get a nice deep ankle pivot as well. And one quick size comparison. You already saw how he stacked up next to some of his wave mates at the beginning of the video. Unfortunately, I don't have any of his gang members, you know, the Black Order people. I don't have the Thanos Build-A-Figure complete, and I don't have Proxima Midnight either. So I decided to show how he looks with the Figuarts figures, because I think those match up a little better as far as the scale, because again, in the movie I feel like he was just massive, and I think this scaling kind of represents that of the movie. So I think I'm gonna mess around with the 3 of these for a quick little shot and get up out of here. Alright, I'm getting out of here. Quick little something. I'll try to expand on this more as I continue to shoot main course. Don't worry, a couple of people have been asking me, quite a few people have been asking me about main course. I'm trying to get it together, so I'm shooting here and there when I can. But I got to get out of here right now. So I hope Hasbro finds a way to give us the rest of the Black Order, whether it be from the movie or the comic-based version. I would prefer the comic-based version, but I'll take what we can get. This is definitely a decent BAF, but it needs some work for sure. So you're going to have to send this guy out to your local customizer unless you have the skill set to do it yourself and paint this guy up and bring out the scope a bit more. And that's pretty much it. On to the next wave of Marvel Legends. We still got a lot more stuff to come out this year, and I got quite a few more videos to bring throughout this this weekend and the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, peace.
That's crispy.